morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me here today. I am joined by our Commissioner of the Department of Public Works, as well as the head of the Code Enforcement Office, to announce our annual spring cleanup. This year we had an incredibly rugged winter, and the good news is that it ended fairly quickly, although of course not quickly enough. The bad news is that it was not a gradual end. It ended very suddenly, and we have, as a consequence, lots of litter and trash and debris throughout the city. So today I am calling on our neighbors and people who live in the city of Syracuse and work in the city of Syracuse to once again join us as we celebrate spring to help clean up the city. In order to lead by example, I have authorized the Department of Public Works to have overtime for yard waste and to pick up throughout the city. I also want to remind people throughout the city that they can, during normal business hours and on the weekend, drop off yard waste at the Department of Public Works. So they don't have to wait for the city trucks to come to their neighborhoods or on their street. I also want to let everyone know that our street sweepers are out cleaning up our streets. But we will be able to do a lot more and make our city look a lot better if we all try to clean up our little place in front of the planet, which means cleaning up the litter and trash and debris that is often hidden by snow or sometimes comes from trash bags breaking or all of those other things that happen in a city. And we're going to continue to do that. I am also asking businesses and non-owner occupied properties and apartments and corner stores to continue to join us on the effort to make sure that they clean up their property. Far too many properties we see that are not owner occupied have had property trash and debris littered on their yards, and we are asking them to clean that up. And we're also saying to them in particular, as well as others, that we're going to have our code enforcement officers out there next week to make sure that everybody is meeting their obligations to clean up this trash and debris. Finally, I would remind folks who live on the east side of the city, in particular in the university neighborhood, that we do extra trash pickups there as students move out. If you want to join that extra trash pickup, you can call the city or the office of the DPW to sign up for that. There is an additional cost, but there are several pickups that happen throughout the month of May to get that trash and debris. So finally, I would say to all of you that as we see this beautiful week coming and we start to celebrate Mother's Day, to remember that those among us who think of the planet as our original mother, that we can help celebrate Mother's Day by not just telling our mothers that we love them, but by also helping clean up the planet as we celebrate this day. So with that, I'd be happy to entertain any questions that anyone has.
Where's the law on, like a business or an apartment owner or something, which we just talked about code enforcement? What does the law say that an apartment owner has to do or a business owner has to do vis-a-vis trash and garbage in front of their house?
Well, they have to pick up trash and debris in front of their property, and if they don't, they will be cited, and then they have a week to pick it up, Ken? And if they don't pick it up, then we go and pick it up for them, and then we cite them and put the fee on their taxes. So if the property owners don't comply, non-owner occupied, non-residential homes get a $55 fee. And that's for commercial properties, including shopping plazas.
There are certain areas and regions that you really want to hit first that are roots off of?
You know, we're just asking everybody to take advantage of this nice weather after a long winter where we've been inside, to go outside and help pick up their little piece of property or where they see trash and debris. We think if everybody does that, it will first make a huge example, number one. Number two, it will help alleviate the problem that we see. And number three, it'll encourage other people to engage in this behavior as well.
Are there any special stipulations for things like use of needles? I mean, I know there's lots of areas you can find a whole bunch of things that are dangerous.
If you find something that's dangerous, you can call the city, and we will tell you what to do with it. By all means, if you see needles or something else, don't pick them up, we have a whole protocol, but that we would urge you to call the city to talk about those particulars. But this is, really what this is aimed at is styrofoam containers, trash and debris, and also, of course, yard waste. When it gets so nice, we don't want to have yard waste sitting on sidewalks or on streets. We'd ask people to take it to the DPW and tell them also that we have authorized extra pickups to get that off the street as well.
You must be happy the state's going to let it clean up your sites.
Extraordinarily happy that that's going to happen. And again, this is an effort that if we all do a little bit, it will make a huge impact. We saw that in the beginning of the month where we did the cleanup Cuse effort, which was very successful, and we're continuing with that. We all have to be responsible for recognizing that we can't treat our city like a trash can. And I know that most residents of the city don't treat it that way. Unfortunately, we do have some that do, and they make it extraordinarily difficult for the rest of us. So, and you know, the snow has a habit of burying things, and we also, I think, sometimes have a habit of procrastinating and saying we'll get to that when the snow melts. Well, it's melted, thankfully, and there's a lot that's been uncovered, and we're asking everybody to help join us doing that.
What's the problem over time, or you know, the visitors or whatever, when the city looks messy versus what's the benefit if the city looks pretty pristine?
Well, you know, obviously the benefit is to the people who live here first and foremost. We have a gorgeous city with gorgeous parks and buildings and landmarks and houses, and it weighs us all down if we don't put our best foot forward. And of course, for visitors and for others, it doesn't show the best city that we can be. It gives the false appearance that we don't care about our city and our community, which of course we do. And so that's why we're asking them to pick up.
Mayor, can you talk about the importance of safety, neighbors, maybe regular trash, you know, some urban high traffic area, or speed is an issue in certain roads. Obviously, you don't want people getting out on the road.
We send every property owner what Syracuse property owner needs to know, and there are all sorts of rules and regulations and tips that we put forward on that, but you can also go to the city website for those guidelines, and what we're asking people is to, if they can take the extra effort, if they're bagging their yard waste or they're cleaning up their yards, to go and bring it themselves to DPW. That'll get it out of the way, get it out of the street, and it'll be less time that all of their neighbors or they have to look at it. But again, we're going to go and pick it up, and we're doing that for making additional pickups. But this is really an issue about how we think about our city and putting our best foot forward. All right, anybody else?
Yes.
Anybody from the media? All right. How long are the extra pickups going for? So as you know, we have the quadrant system, which we have been using for years. And so we're hoping that the extra pickups can get us through the quadrant system to help us get us back on track and pick it up through this kind of crunch period of the initial pickup. Thank you all very much. Have a good day.